What did we think of that second section?
Definitely got more interesting for me. At least I felt more
Mm.
invested.
Yeah, same.
It's building well.
Was that?
It's building pretty well. Like, I feel like at the
Yeah.
beginning is kind of like, I'm not sure because it seems similar to other books I've read, but then the second section we got more detail, and I feel like I'm much more intrigued now.
Yeah. It's interesting because I feel like the way it was written, like, you know what's gonna happen. Or like there's a specific section. Oh, when um there was a visitor that went and saw her mom, and then they just kept going. I was like, let me just jump to the freaking name. Stop like elongating the suspense. Like, just let me know. I totally just skipped like the 5 lines and I went to the name and I was like, Erin, what? I don't know. I know she was trying to be like suspenseful, but I couldn't take it. And I feel like the whole book is kind of like that, where it's like slow and then bam, and then slow, and then I mean the last section right now too. There was
It ended at another cliffhanger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a good spot. She's
Yeah.
making me nervous. Like, I mean, she's getting all this evidence and not sharing it with the cops. Like, and then like she was at that cemetery and there were photos of her, but she like lied to the cop about it. So I'm worried it's gonna be like a Gillian Flynn kind of where maybe she's not involved, but they're gonna like pin it on her or something.
It's gonna backfire. The silence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's making me nervous.
It seems like it could go that route, which is it would suck because she already went through so much as a kid, and she's just trying to protect her sanity, her poor self, but it doesn't seem like it's looking right. It seems like she's hiding and it's her.
I can't
And she
help but
keeps
feel. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, well, she keeps like mentioning that something happened in college, like a similar kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But she hasn't told us that whole story, but I don't know what that's about.
Yeah. Do you guys think she had an episode in college and killed someone?
Oh, it could be if it was her.
But I don't think she's killing these girls. It doesn't seem like it.
I feel like she's more implying like she suspected someone else was killing, and I don't know, like maybe did get the cops involved, but she was wrong. I don't know.
I feel like the whole like theme of her medicating and not dealing with her own trauma and like not like really looking in the mirror and like processing what she's gone through. I feel like that is going to play out with what happens in that she's medicating herself and she's like not wanting to really see what's there. And I feel like that's the lesson that she has to learn, I guess, is that like you can't, like, which is funny because she's a therapist, but like is that like you have to process things, you have to like be aware. And I think she's afraid because she feels like her father was like right there in front of her and she like missed it. But the way she's dealing with it is by like not really paying attention to things and not really like, you know, being present. And I feel like I don't know about you guys, but I'm sure like before I was like, oh, maybe it's the brother, but now I'm like, oh my god, that fiance is definitely being set up. Like who knows if he actually is, but the way that the author is framing him right now is like he's shady.
Yeah.
Agree.
So who knows if he actually is, but I feel like he's being portrayed as a very suspicious character. And how he keeps going away. Like whenever these are happening.
Right?
Like who knows? It really could be. It's so obvious that I almost feel like it's like a red herring, but I feel like it's going like either like it's more that like in some way I feel like she's going to have to confront this thing, which is that she's not paying attention to things and she's not processing things. And whether it manifests as like literally I was not paying attention and my fiance was the killer, or whether it's someone else in her life, or whether it's just that like she needs to change, or else she's never going to be able to like live a normal life. We'll see like what scale it ends up being, but I wonder if that's like the metaphor or whatever, is that like, oh, I was so like self-medicated that like I didn't even notice that my fiance was a murderer. Like when he was like cutting with the knife, I was like, oh God.
Yeah, so smoothly, and I was like, oh shit.
I
He's, like,
definitely don't think she is.
strangling.
I think she's too zonked out, honestly.
Yeah.
She's too zonked out to like
Yeah,
kill people.
same. I don't think so either.
Yeah, she made some comment to the fiance. He was like, oh, it's all over the news about the girls. And then she was like, oh, even in New Orleans? And then he didn't
Mhm.
respond.
Yeah.
And
I
then
was
she
like,
didn't even think of it. She just
I-
moved on.
I know.
Yeah.
It's like, girl, I mean, you trust, like Aaron said, maybe trust your instincts a little.
I feel like maybe she just like is literally being blinded by the love she like for her dad and now for her fiance, because it's not like she's dumb and she doesn't catch on these little things, because she kept saying that, what was her name, with Lena, when they were like, going into Cooper's room, and then she was like, oh, they lock you up, like when she gets in trouble or whatever, it's like they lock you up, and she keeps going back to that. So I'm like, it's not, I don't think it's that she's not, but I think it's just blinded by the people she cares.
Or she just feels like she wants to have that person to like be her trusted person because she's so cut off from everyone else. And she really just wants this guy to fit in with her because he just makes her feel good. But maybe that's a little like, maybe that's coming from a place of, her unmet needs, and not coming from like, oh, this guy's a good match, because I don't feel like they really have a lot in common. It's more that she just keeps saying like, he makes me feel so safe, he makes me feel so taken care of, and that's all good, but I like, what do they even talk about?
Yeah.
Like, where's the brother? Like, you think all these disappearances, he lives nearby, right? Like, I'm sure he knows. Wouldn't he call her and be like, are you okay with all these disappearances?
Unless he's doing it.
Yeah, he kind of disappeared, which is why like I was very suspicious of him, but then he wasn't in this half of the story except in
At all.
flashbacks. So
Yeah.
I mean, I still feel like there is something with like in the past, like who knows, maybe it was the dad, but like the fact that like Lena also liked the brother and was trying to go in his room, like maybe Cooper was stealing the jewelry and hiding it, not the dad. And then the dad, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I just wonder. They never found any physical evidence, so
Yeah.
Maybe one of the children framed the dad and they blocked it out of their memory.
Ooh. I wonder why they would do that.
I mean, Cooper was pretty strong. He was like an athlete, like a wrestler. So he probably could have disposed the bodies. I think they were pretty skinny girls, she kept saying. I'm also like, so they mentioned that patient of hers who died had that medicine, the diazepam, in her system.
Yeah.
So I'm like, shoot, is that in her drawer? Because that's going to be incriminating. And then if not, like, what about that other psychiatrist or whatever?
Oh, Shannon.
Yeah,
the receptionist.
Yeah, I wonder if she could be involved at all. Because I'm like, who would have access to like those drugs? I mean,
I was thinking maybe the receptionist, and maybe that's a stretch, but just sometimes the characters who don't seem to have as much to do with it come out later. And when she is finding out the news and she's hearing it on the TV, it says something like the receptionist knew not to ask more questions. That makes me think that she knows about her past, and maybe she's somehow like a relative of somebody who was murdered by her father, or she's jealous or something, and maybe she wants to take her down for some reason. Like it could be an envy thing, just because of how the corpse was found so close to her window and the other body was found in the cemetery right by her office. I feel like someone's definitely targeting her.
Yeah. I don't know. The whole mom thing doesn't sit well with me either. Like, is she doing a Verity thing? Like, where she's a vegetable?
Oh yeah, I didn't even make that connection.
I don't know.
I wonder if the mom wrote something down, or maybe there's a hidden diary. I gotta get in charge. Hold on.
Like the fact that the mom just like, so I mean, it could have just been so traumatic that she wanted to take her own life, but it does seem a little bit jarring that she would do that when she had young kids. Maybe there's some other reason why.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Maybe there was an outside like source that was causing some, I don't know, some threats or something, and she just couldn't take it and honestly didn't care about her children. Because that's one of the things I'm like, one, her dad is a murderer, and she was young, and then two, her mom tried to kill herself when like around the same time, and now she's here and she can't talk. That's just such a sad childhood, and so intense and so traumatic that I'm like, how is she even okay? I mean, we know she's not. She's obviously, getting all these drugs. But in my brain, I'm like, if I can't even imagine having that past and then going to be a psychologist, like, girl, you're just gonna like trigger I don't know. That's like super intense for her to do that. I know she's trying to help
Maybe
people,
it's also from like her perspective, like she's narrating the story to us, so she thinks everything is just like totally fine. Like her fiance just met the guy, they don't really have anything in common, but like totally fine.
Yeah.
Like she's remember like she prescribed the girl meds like after one visit.
Mm-hmm.
And like I don't know, maybe she thinks that she's more together than she even knows. Like the reporter was like, are you okay? Like, and was worried about her. And I don't know, maybe like that's her coping mechanism, is that she just like everything's okay, all under control, and just like medicating. Like, like when was it when she heard about Aaron that she wanted to grab the pill like right away, but like resisted it? Like that's literally like basically anytime she feels an emotion, she just like pops a pill. And it's like she's not even like functional, or not functional. She is functional, but she's not like living a true human experience almost. Yeah. And like she's acting like everything's fine, but like, I mean, I'm not like an expert, but I would feel like if you have to pop a Xanax every time you like, deal with any kind of stress, that's a really abnormal, messed up situation. So maybe that's the other thing. Like she's kind of unreliable in that way, that like she's just like, oh yeah, like I'm getting married and have my practice, and like maybe she's just like way more of a mess than we even fully realize.
I can see that.
I don't know, Julie, if someone's like having a Xanax like every day recreationally, how's that going to mess with their health?
Yeah, it's not good.
Like,
it's
is
just
it addictive? Like, can you become like, right?
Yeah, it's very addictive, and it's not like the best treatment for anxiety. Like if you need it every day, you should be on a daily anxiety pill. She should know that. Like the Prozac, she should be on the Prozac.
Mm.
That's true.
Not just like
She should have
piecemeal
picked that.
medicating, right?
Yeah, yeah. And then she has all these different ones and like
Mhm.
pretty high doses, yeah. Like she was like 2 and 4 milligrams. And I feel like she knows it's wrong. And now it's just like evidence that she has all those pills in her drawer and in
Mhm.
her car.
Well, that
It's like
backfired.
she feels like it's the only way that she knows how, because of the like certain situation she was in that was like so terrible. But
Mhm.
she, you know, I don't know, like sometimes people just like don't realize they can't take their own advice.
Mhm.
Yeah, she's always like counseling herself. Like what I
Mhm.
would say.
My patience. Mhm.
What do you think about this alarm guy? What's his name?
Oh my gosh, Bert, something.
Do you
I
think
think
the
it's
fiance called him?
mm,
It
Because
was
why did he just show up?
yeah.
after she was Googling him. It seems like really, really interesting. I like how she thought it was her fiance. Then she was like, "Oh, like, you can stay away." And I'm like, "How embarrassing!" Like, cringe, cringe.
I know.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think of Daniel calling him, since obviously he was like, "Oh, we'll do it no matter the money, like as long as you're safe." But then again, he also does things that like scare her. So like, could he actually know that it's him? And he acted like he didn't.
Oh, that's
Because doesn't he know
question.
about Lena? I mean, I'm sure he would have known her last name.
Mm-hmm. And everything's on the internet too. Like the
Yeah.
main character was saying.
I don't know. He's suspicious. I think overall he's like trying to push her buttons and just.
Does
I don't
anyone
know. It's
think
creepy.
that Aaron maybe reached out to Bert? I think his name was Bert, and then maybe that made him come to Chloe's house
Other than
for the article.
I feel like Aaron, I don't know. He's giving me vibes of like, you know how she's not telling Daniel, her fiance, that she's talking to him? That's
Mm-hmm.
like already I think that's a bad sign. So I feel like they're gonna think like, oh, you're cheating on me with him kind of thing. Because she's not talking about the article. But he also seems to obviously only care about his article. So I can see him doing that. Just to be like, let me make this story more interesting. Let me bring in these characters and what do you think here and what do you think there?
Mm-hmm.
Just like the way he wanted to include her dad, and she's like, I don't talk to him. She's like, I'm gonna talk to your dad, and then he shows up with the mom, and it's like,
A big invasion of privacy and
yeah,
disrespect. Like I
yeah,
know that journalists probably have to get their story, but I also feel like part of him, I don't know if it's genuine because he seems, especially a little bit later in this section, he seems to be more like friendly and I feel like they have a banter. Like, are you just pretending to like be cool and helpful so you can get more information to better your article, or do you actually care? It could be him stirring the pot too, because he knows the 20th anniversary. Maybe he could be the murderer really if he's planting these things and he doesn't think anyone will suspect him.
I think it's interesting that she is talking with this reporter that she claims she does not trust and barely knows, but yet her fiance, she's not even told him like very much about herself, and she's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get married to this guy. Like that's also just like, you don't feel comfortable telling your fiance about your life. Like that's not a good sign at all.
yeah. Like he knows about it, but how much,
No.
you know? And I mean, that makes a difference. The fact that she's over here just like spilling these things to Arian. And I think in one of them, she was going, when she was saying the story about Cooper, or no, all these girls like in Cooper and all that stuff with Lena. And she's like, oh no, you don't want to hear that. He's like, oh no, yeah, go on. I don't think she said that to her fiance before. So it's like you're telling a complete stranger, and your fiance's here knowing nothing. I don't know. All the men seem like they're assholes. Lying and killing. And just kidding. Yeah, I'm gonna say she didn't do it. One of the boys did.
Right there. I think she might get blamed for it, or like, you know, accused, but I don't think she did it so far.
But it's just weird,
Well,
like
everybody-
her patient like was last seen at her office, and then she went to the pharmacy and went home to her party. So it's like and then everyone was at the party, so that's kind of their alibi. Like if the fiance did it, how could he have done it in that short time? I don't know.
Well, but wait, didn't the fiance say that Cooper helped out with everything?
Yeah, he was there.
So maybe
early.
he was like, "Oh, Cooper, gotta go run an errand."
Exactly. And in my head, since everything was dark, I'm just imagining Daniel just like scooting in through like the back door or something. Obviously dark because, you know, it's a surprise. And nobody thinks it's weird because he's like, oh no, it's a surprise. She can't see me. So I think it could be him.
And the jewelry.
I thought
I think she's gonna find the jewelry. Oh, go ahead, Katie.
I thought it was strange how, because his sister went missing when she was 13, and she told him everything, and he was just like, "Oh, it's okay, I love you." I would be a little bit more shook than he was.
Yeah, like maybe
So-
he did know.
Yeah, or he was lying. Maybe his sister didn't go missing, just like to get her sympathy, or feel like she can relate to him, like a sociopath.
Yeah, and
They
like why
just have
doesn't
a
he?
really odd relationship.
Yeah.
And we still don't know why he's not in contact with his parents.
Oh, that's also true.
Sketch.
This is I don't think this is I think this is a big stretch, but what if he grew up in the town with her and like then he changed his name
Oh, could be.
and he did the murder? I really don't think that's true.
Watch it be it.
Well, I thought the same because remember, she said there's this kid looking through her window, and she went to confront him one day, and because she thought it was a man, but it was just some kid.
Oh,
You guys remember that
Oh
part?
yeah.
yes, I do now. What if that kid was Daniel or
And just
Aaron?
obsessed with the whole thing. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh.
And maybe I don't know, maybe he was planning for this 20th anniversary, like, and that's why like they've only been together like what, like 6 months or something.
Yeah.
I was also thinking, because did those murders all happen over summer? Because I was thinking, what if Daniel did them when he was a kid and he was on summer break and maybe he went to her town like for summer?
Oh.
Maybe he was jealous that Cooper and the dad were getting the attention. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Just saying jealous just brought me like this what if, and this is a stretch too. What if her dad is his dad? And he found out and he's like, what the fuck? You know, like, oh no, that's too much.
And she's the one that sent the dad to jail with the jewelry. So I mean, what if one of them is the culprit and then she's gonna find like the jewelry in her closet, like she found the jewelry in her dad's closet.
Oh shoot.
Or her mom is his mom, because her mom was having affairs.
Have the affairs.
And then he was jealous of the dad. I don't know how she hid. Well, maybe. Well, actually, you know what? It would have maybe Daniel's like the oldest, like out of all of them, and that's how she was pregnant, and they didn't know.
But that would make them like half siblings, so they're gay.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
gosh.
really bad.
No, this book's already talked about pedophilia a lot, so who knows? If it's like Gillian Flynn, they're not
Mhm.
gonna
You
let
don't care.
that stop things.
Not gonna stop.
Oh my gosh.
We just went like, whoa.
I know.
Possibilities.
The
I
main
think we're
character.
thinking of all these things because it seems so obvious right now. So we're
Yeah.
trying to like
Yeah.
think of some more crazy things.
Yeah.
She just is the main character is just really annoying me. Like she's just really setting herself up to get in trouble. Like she should dispose of all the meds. Like maybe that file. Like, do you need your whole conversation recorded? Can't you just take paper notes on
Oh,
your
that's true.
session? Like if her office gets searched, all that stuff's gonna be found, and she's just not taking any precautions. Like Paula said, she's just all oblivious.
I feel
Maybe
like
she's
And the
following
fact that
her
she
dad's. Oh, go ahead, Paul.
go ahead. Oh, I was
I was
just
gonna
gonna
say
say
maybe
she
she's
already knows that someone took a picture of her.
Mm,
They're like that's and she's like, eh.
or she's following in her dad's footsteps. Like he made a whole bunch of mistakes. He didn't actually commit the crime, but he kept messing up and leaving the cops suspicious of him, and that's why he was arrested. Maybe she'll also get arrested, but she wasn't really the one to do it, and then we'll never know who did it.
And
Oh,
her dad
God.
was kind of sleepwalking through life because he like his wife was just having all these affairs and he was just kind of like, I'm just on the couch eating my dinner.
That's a good point. I think the police officer is going to look at the article and realize that she was there, and he's going to come back and be like, yo, I thought you said we never met, but we actually crossed paths. And it's going to make her look really bad.
Yeah.
Or maybe Erin is an undercover cop or something. I don't know.
I don't know why Erin wouldn't just go to the police. Like,
I don't know if investigative reporters always like share their information with
I
the
feel
police.
I feel like they wouldn't because they want to be the first one to release it. And they, you know, because I feel like when top news goes out, at least I've noticed there's a lot of articles with the same information. But I feel like the main one that brings it out first, it's obviously gonna be like, oh shoot, you know. So I think that's his motive to not do that.
No.
Yeah, I wonder what. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that I was rereading or like going over this what I was gonna say Lena. What's her name? The one that just died. Lacey
Lacey, yeah.
was saying to Chloe, and she didn't say much. It just said that she was mad at her dad for leaving and like mad at her mom. So I wonder if she did go into more when that recording. Because I'm like, it didn't say it was pretty long.
Like an hour.
Yeah. And I feel like what we got, that's like 5 minutes. So I feel like something there could have been.
and remember, she was all spaced out, like looking at the clock and stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe she was already dosed with the medicine.
Yeah.
I can't believe she was recording the conversations. I feel like that's not allowed. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but when I've done therapy, they just take notes. They don't like record me. But she's like we said, she's like not present, so she needs to record.
Ah.
They have more lenient rules in that state. Like they allow the them to prescribe the medicine. So maybe that's part of it too.
Yeah, like why would you want to record it and have like all of that available? Like when are you gonna listen to it again?
Yeah, when are you ever gonna go back to that? That's right.
Could it
Like
be
she
because she's a
probably
minor?
No.
he probably should have given that to the police or like said, I have this if you want to like get permission from the court, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But she's just like, oh, there's nothing in there worthwhile. Like maybe she should have listened to it again. Maybe she will.
Mm.
If someone dies, Julie, does the patient confidentiality go away? Because I was thinking she was a minor, so they could get permission from the parents too, maybe, but I don't know how it works.
I don't know, but they could probably get like a court order for it.
Mm. Okay.
I mean, but they probably don't know she has this like recording, you know.
Yeah.
There's definitely a lot of things that we're noticing that aren't like necessarily like spelled out in this narrative because it is coming from her, that we're like, this is odd, this isn't okay, like this is not normal. And I just hope that will pay off in some way, because we're all like, what the hell? She doesn't seem like a great doctor. She seems like she's in a not very deep relationship. She seems like she's not okay.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it's not like she has no idea, but I feel like she's in denial on a lot of things. But like it's almost like, because it's her narrative, like the book isn't like it's just, or we're kind of like hearing her perspective so far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Have any of you read Girl on the Train? I haven't actually read it or seen the movie, but it's similar, right? Like where the protagonist is an alcoholic, right? So she's not 100% there.
Yeah, it's similar. I recommend that one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I think I saw the movie, and then I tried to read the book, but the book was exactly the same, so I couldn't continue. I was like,
it's a pretty fair interpretation for sure.
Yeah.
I wonder what's going to happen with Burt Rhodes and standing on the doorstep. That's the part where I was like, oh my gosh, it is starting to.
And like, is he going to recognize her? Or is she going to give him her real name?
Oh, yeah, that's true. Maybe she called him by accident or clicked a button on the website, but then I don't think that must be true because he got there so quickly, right? So, but I feel like that's too much of a coincidence.
A neighbor.
Mm.
Or he's participating in the search party. Or no, but the bodies were found, so why would no, that makes no sense.
That's true, the bodies were found.
I was thinking the fiance.
Yeah, me too, just because it happened so quickly. Yeah, I hope he's not like angry towards her, because then that could go really bad too. Like a confrontation or an attack or something. Or maybe a threat, like, oh, I know, like, you know, you were there at the cemetery or something.
It's wild. The next section, you read up to, I think 24 to 34. Yeah.
24 to 34, not 35.
Not 35.
Got it.
80. Yeah. Ah, I almost read the end.
No, Jada, no.
Oh man.
So I don't know if I told you guys, but I got assigned like a covert comrade at work, and at first I was like, "Oh, does this mean like they're telling me like I should be friends with this person?" But then we actually became friends because we did try, both of us. And she wrote, we had like a survey, and she wrote on hers that she likes to read novels, and I was like, "Oh, cool, we have something in common." So I gave her my copy of It Ends With Us, and she told me she started reading it and she was obsessed with it. She liked it. And then I almost told her about the sequel, but then
Oh,
I was like, "Tell me when you're done. Tell me when you're done."
Oh.
So that was nice.
I just passed that along to someone at work too. I have to see if she got it.
Oh, cool.
Oh my gosh, Crystal just replied. She said she was in chapter 12. Is that not the beginning?
yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's funny. Oh, that's hilarious. Well,
And I got really into it this section and I couldn't put it down.
Me
I
too.
feel like I knew I was gonna hear quick, so I was like, I'm gonna hold back. Not yet, not yet, not yet. Until I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I need to read. It's gonna be Tuesday, and I'm gonna be here like, oops, I didn't read.
I like the chapters are short too, so it's pretty easy. Like I think I
Yeah.
finished it all on Sunday. It was a smooth read.
Yeah, I went on like a really long walk and I got through like a good chunk of it, but I still had like a bunch left. I was like, oh my God, I have no more. I'm done with my walk, but I still I want to keep going.
That was, yeah, I felt that. Because when I go to the gym and I'm lazy and I go on the cycle, I'm like, I don't want to do an hour. I'll do 30 minutes, 40 minutes. And those 30, 40 minutes, because I'm moving and I was like, shoot, I think I'm gonna get dizzy. I thought I read more and I did it. And I was like, well, this sucks. This is not gonna work out. So today I was like, I'm not gonna go and exercise and do this. I'm just gonna read.
Is next meeting when we bring the proposals too?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Book for April. I got a lot of, ooh. I need to show you the book I got.
I'm going to propose the one that I won in the giveaway.
Oh,
The one that what?
The one that I won in the giveaway.
Oh, that one looks cool. So for the book of the month, I should probably stop getting books of the month because I have too many. But I got a free add-on for my birthday, so I was like, yeah, why not? And this book was on there, and I really, really wanted to read it when Paula suggested it. So I have it now.
Ah,
Yeah.
funny.
Oh, you read it?
No, I haven't yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I was like, oh my gosh, it's in there. So this is my free add-on, and I'm excited. At least I have it now.
Is that the one with the 4 stories?
He has
I
like
believe
6.
so.
It's the short stories,
Yeah.
all by the same
Yeah,
author.
the short story. Oh, cool.
I started reading Violeta by Isabel Allende, and it's her newest
Oh.
book, but it's my first book that I read by her. And at first I was like, okay, this is kind of boring, but then after I got into it, so I like it. I'm about halfway through.
Have you guys read Where the Crawdads Sing? Because they're making the movie of
I
that.
have not.
I've read it.
I need to
I've
read
read
it.
it.
On Instagram.
Yeah, that one was good.
Yeah.
I need to write all this down.
I'll
Reese
definitely
Witherspoon
watch
was
the
like
movie.
posting pics of
Mm-hmm.
the movie because I think she's producing it or whatever.
Did you
Yeah.
guys see Normal People?
It's the girl from that.
Yeah. At
Mhm.
first I was like, who is this girl commenting? Because I think she commented on Reese's stuff. And I'm like, her name sounds super familiar. And I clicked on it and I was like, oh, it's that one girl. So I'm
She was
excited.
just in this movie I watched on Hulu called Fresh
Oh,
with Sebastian Stan,
I
which
think
was
I
a pretty
saw that too.
disturbing movie. It was good, but it's a
Yeah?
little disturbing.
Oh, okay.
A horror movie.
Oh, okay.
She was good in that. She's like really young.
I was gonna say that.
Like
I
she's
feel
like
like
22 or something.
yeah, like she's an upcoming actress, but not like very out there yet. Like she's barely like
Mhm.
slowly making her way. Okay. Well, next section. up to 34. Don't read 35. What's that? Oh, just
Oh, nothing.
okay. And bring your book, and we'll vote. And yeah, let's have a good rest of your week. The Bachelor finales right now, so I'm gonna run.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
Oh yeah, I heard it.
I
Text me,
saw that
Judith.
it got pretty dramatic.
Seen all the memes.
Yo, God. And
I'm
I
gonna watch it tomorrow, Judith.
I wanted to watch it right now, and they didn't let me. And I was like, "Argh." But I just want to know who's the Bachelorette, and at the end who he picks. Which
I'm gonna watch it tomorrow. So
Nobody. Just
I'll text you tomorrow so we can chat about it.
Okay. Let's go watch some
Okay.
crappy reality TV.
Good night.
Bye.
Everyone.
Nice.